a good, I don't know if he interviewed Floyd or it's just his imagination, but it's something that has people talking about. So it's going to be a great fight.
If Manny Pacquiao Floyd Mayweather gets made, it does more than Terence Crawford Canelo on Netflix.
Oh, wow.
Clip that.
I personally don't like to see guys take punishment, especially at the latter part of their career, because again, a piece of you is always left when you step out of that ring. Every time you go into the ring, you're not the same person that comes out the ring. I don't care who you are.
Leonard Ellerbe has told Floyd Mayweather he shouldn't go back in the ring with Manny Pacquiao. He reminded everyone that boxing is a rough game where one punch can change everything. Ellerbe stressed that older boxers should play it safe, protect their bodies, and focus on keeping their money. Once a legend is made, there's no reason to keep proving it. Older fighters should enjoy life, not chase danger that isn't needed.
Do what's best for him. If he feels as though the time is now to walk away, but I personally don't like to see guys take punishment, especially at the latter part of their career, because again, a piece of you is always left when you step out of that ring. Every time you go into the ring, you're not the same person that comes out the ring. I don't care who you are. And boxing is a brutal, brutal sport. And all it takes is, one punch here, and again, the whole life is completely changed. And the key is to get in this sport and to become successful, meaning fight the best guys that are out there, and then make a lot of money, and then be able to go out and do whatever it is you want to do. Obviously, with being in a position to take care of your family, that's what it's all about.
In a rare statement, Floyd Mayweather's son voiced strong concern over his dad fighting Pacquiao again. He didn't name Manny, but his message showed care for Floyd's health. He believes his father already proved everything in boxing. Wanting no second match is not about the sport, it's about love. His words remind us how fighters' families worry more about health than past wins or fame.
Ron, I'm 2-1. Mojo Gusto, I don't know. You gotta ask him. No. Everybody's old. Can you put another shrimp on the box?
Manny Pacquiao has said he's ready for anyone, including Floyd, if the offer is real. He called on Mayweather to sign if he's truly serious about coming back. Manny's words show he's full of confidence and still thinks there's unfinished business with Floyd. He believes he can still fight at the top level and wants a second chance to fix the past. With his last few fights showing fire, Manny's not waiting, he's calling him out.
To coax Floyd Mayweather out and maybe you guys get a rematch right here in this same building, do you feel like that this version of you beats the version of Floyd Mayweather that exists today?
It's hard to talk about the fighter who retired already. If he comes out and go sign the contract and we will fight. Let's fight again if he wants. I have no problem with that. I'm active now. I don't pick my opponent. I don't, I fight them all.
WBC boss Mauricio Suleiman gave a careful take on the topic. He praised Floyd's legacy and said boxing doesn't need another fight from him. Still, he said if fans really want it, the rematch might happen. His view shows how boxing often follows money and hype. Even if Floyd doesn't need it, crowd demand might be enough to bring him back.
But can you see a scenario where, obviously Floyd, who's held the WBC titles many over his career, maybe gets tempted out of retirement for a Manny Pacquiao rematch?
What do you say?
I say he doesn't need to fight again, but I also would definitely come and watch. So I'm sort of like,
You'll come and watch. We have to see what happens Saturday, first of all. Of course, Floyd is legendary, just as Manny. There's no issue there. But you cannot skip. There's various before, and Lance is a great journalist. I think he pulled out a good, I don't know if he interviewed Floyd or it's just his imagination, but it's something that has people talking about, so it's going to be a great fight.
Pacquiao's recent talks and posts online make it clear he wants to fight Floyd again. He feels he could win this time and rewrite history. His belief comes from how sharp he looked in the Barrios fight. Manny seems motivated by past regrets and wants to prove himself again. He's not just guessing anymore, his tone shows he's serious and ready.
You would even fight him today?
Even here.
Oh my goodness. Tell me about that fight a little bit. Being in there with Floyd, Floyd being in there with you, like what was the experience like being there in the ring fighting him finally?
It's good, but despite all those things, but then after the fight, right after the fight, I went to the hospital and got operated. My
Yeah, you got an operation. Yeah.
Yeah.
I remember you posted a picture of.
Really hurt.
Was he better or worse than you thought he was?
No, that's his style. Like I knew it, but the thing is, I'm expecting that I won the fight because he didn't throw a lot of punches. I throw a lot of punches. And I reviewed the compi box, like slow motion from first round to 12 rounds. Like how many punches get connected and how many punches of him he connected. You know, that's boxing.
Yeah.
I'm not complaining or making, just it happened that way.
Yeah.
It happened to me many times.
Did you want a rematch with Floyd?
I'm still active. It's up to him if he's going to fight.
You would even fight him today?
Even here.
Oh my goodness.
Even here.
Yeah, that fire never dies, man.
My right hand is complete, so.
Boxing expert Chris Algieri gave a fair take on the possible rematch. He said while the fight isn't confirmed, it's also not far-fetched. Algieri thinks Manny's strong showing against Barrios has fans excited again. He also said Pacquiao might be the one holding the keys to make it real. If he stays in shape and keeps pushing, Floyd might return. Algieri's comments add truth to what many already feel is coming.
Listen, if Floyd's talking about coming back, no.
And that's what I wanted to touch on. Do you think that this now warrants Floyd Mayweather with his competitive spirit and attitude to come back and maybe try to one-up Manny Pacquiao by beating him again?
That wouldn't surprise me at all because I know how Floyd is when it comes to, seeing other people doing their thing. He's like, that's Chris. So I think that's a really good possibility of happening. But again, that's going to come down to Floyd and Manny. I think they're both in the driver's seat. Floyd's always in the driver's seat, Hey, sir, how are you, man?
Before Pacquiao faced Barrios, fans were already saying a win might lead to Floyd. The money would be huge, talks of over $1 billion. Now that Manny's finished the Barrios fight, calls for the rematch are louder than ever. With their past and huge followings, this matchup could be bigger than any recent fight, both in hype and profit.
So breaking news, Floyd Mayweather versus Manny Pacquiao 2 is in talks to happen next if Pacquiao beats Mario Barrios. And Mayweather is expected to be ringside for Pacquiao's fight on Saturday night. And according to reports, the rematch could be the first ever fight to generate over $1 billion. And that would lure Mayweather out of retirement. Now, I definitely saw this coming. Manny's coming out of retirement after 4 years. Of course, because he's passionate about the sport. And Barrios is a world champion, so it's a legacy fight. But there's bigger name opponents Manny can fight. And the biggest of them all is definitely Floyd Mayweather. I mean, their first fight generated 4.6 million pay-per-view buys, did over $600 million in revenue, including pay-per-views and ticket sales and sponsorships. And even though the fight didn't live up to expectations, it could still be a massive fight. 2 to 3 million pay-per-views right now. Or you could put it on Netflix and hundreds of millions of people would watch it worldwide. So if Manny can pull off the upset against Mario Barrios and become WBC champion on Saturday, don't be shocked if these two's negotiations really start to heat up and then the fight gets made shortly after.
Former champ Sean Porter sees things differently. He thinks Floyd and Manny's story ended in 2015 and shouldn't reopen. He feels another fight may feel like a memory trip, not real action. Porter also says today's younger stars could give better shows to him. The legends should be respected, not pushed back into pressure that could hurt their lasting image.
No, listen. We've seen Manny on the end of bad decisions before. Timothy Bradley, excuse me. Jeff Horn fight, and shout out to Tim. I know how you feel about that. But this is what he's got to deal with. You can't go through a camp, do what you just did right there. We saw all the heart, everything that we've always seen from Manny, and this is the result. Shout out to Mario. He made the fight difficult just from being a big guy who is a better boxer than I realized, came to the ring with a true game plan to try to box and be patient, find openings and things of that nature. I don't think that Mario did enough to win. I don't think he did enough for a draw. I think that there was a lot more that he could have done. But the main thing is the style that he chose to box was actually a good style to use against Manny Pacquiao. They were saying that they were going to come right to the middle of the ring, and they did. But they came to the middle of the ring, and then they circled, they moved, they worked behind the jab. Not enough jabs, not enough of everything from Mario, you know? So I really don't agree with the draw. All that said, y'all know I got to say the rest. Y'all know I got to say the rest. One more?
Should Manny fight younger guys still? Like, should he fight a Tank? Should he fight a Rolly? Or should he rematch Floyd?
I don't think y'all want to see him with Floyd. Do y'all? I don't know. I'm feeling like the world, because it's Manny Pacquiao, it makes sense for it to be Floyd Mayweather. But I don't know. I thought yesterday you were poking the bear.
Online debates are heating up as fans review both legends' careers. One major point is Pacquiao's record 8 weight titles. That alone makes many think he'd do better if they fought again. People argue who'd win based on past fights, styles, and recent form. Manny's history of fighting top-level guys makes fans believe he can still handle Floyd.
So is Floyd Mayweather greater than Manny Pacquiao? I always get this question. If you know me, you know my answer. Floyd is not greater than Pacquiao, and Pacquiao has him beat by a really good margin, in my opinion. Let's talk about it. If your argument is Floyd beat Pacquiao, throw it out the window. Every single boxer in history has lost damn near. That's like saying Buster Douglas is greater than Mike Tyson. If your argument is Manny lost in his career and Floyd didn't, I would disagree with that type of logic, but if that's the case, you got to put all the undefeated fighters at the top. Bud, Inoue, Usyk, Kazagi, all those guys should be in your top 5. I like Floyd. I like Floyd a little bit more than Manny. I'm not gonna lie. Manny's a bit chaotic at times. I don't like that. I like sweet, smooth looking boxing. But let's speak objectively here. If we're talking about in terms of career, whose career will be more harder to replicate? Is going to be Manny Pacquiao, and it's by a really good margin. Now, Floyd's most impressive feats, you look at him, he's a, 5 division champion. He's beaten 23 world champions. He's been in how many title fights? You know, Floyd has an amazing career. And I'm not saying that it can be done. It probably will never be done again, but I could see somebody doing that before they do what Manny did. And that's why I have Manny as the greatest boxer of all time, just not based off ability. When you look at the guys that Manny beat, the reason why he got the 2000s Fighter of the Decade over Floyd Mayweather, the reason why he got Fighter of the Year 3 years in a row, almost 4 years in a row. Yes, Manny lost. Manny fought more world champions than Floyd, though. We don't speak on that. Then you get into the 8 weight division. These are only the 8 he won titles in. Manny Pacquiao fought through, I want to say, 10 or 11 different weight divisions. If you want to speak on the lineal titles, I want to say he holds the most lineals of all time with like 5 or 6. Youngest lineal flyweight, oldest welterweight champion. It's insane. The youngest lineal fly is also the oldest welterweight champion. I like Floyd. Floyd's my number 2 all time. This isn't a diss to Floyd, but Manny, I believe objectively, is the greatest fighter above Ali, above Floyd, above Duran, above Leonard, above everybody. I think he has a career that is absolutely impossible to replicate. When Floyd was picking on guys like Andre Berto and Conor McGregor, Manny Pacquiao beat the undefeated young active champion and Keith Thurman to join the pound for pound at 40 years of age while being a senator. He's the greatest boxer of all time.
NFL star Kim Bingham also showed love for Manny's latest form for him. The opponent doesn't matter, he just wants to see Pacquiao back in the ring. Bingham said Manny's energy and fire got fans hyped again. One great performance can flip how people feel. Manny doesn't need revenge, he just needs a ring to prove he's still got it.
Break down the fight. I thought Manny won myself, but what did you see? How did you see the fight?
All right, so obviously I'm a Manny fan, but I'm going to try and keep it non-biased as possible. It was a great fight. It was a close fight. Both had moments, but I think overall Manny did more. I think his punches were more effective, more active. So even on top of that, just the ability for him to go the 12 rounds and do what he was able to do, but be more active every single round. I feel like Barrios picked it up the last 2 rounds, but I still don't believe that was enough. Manny started fast and he sustained pretty much, kind of let his foot off the gas towards the end, but I still thought, in my opinion, it was enough to win the fight to where I don't see how even the one judge got the decision towards Barrios.
Manny told me he thought he won 8-4, even if it's 7-5. But the draw was surprising. At least they didn't rob him, but
yeah.
Do you want to see a rematch? Do you see Mayweather? Do you want to see Rolly? I mean, Manny told me he likes the Rolly fight, I think.
I just want to see Manny. I want to see him in the ring. It doesn't matter who, because I know whoever he fights, it'll be an exciting fight. Obviously, the Floyd one will be big, and that'd, blow up the whole boxing world again. But I just think overall, I want to see Manny in the ring, and I think anybody who has signed a contract with Manny knows what they're going into. and isn't going to be one of those boring fights where they're running. It's going to be, you know, combative, and they're going to be standing in the middle of the ring and fight. And I think, especially like what Manny was saying, he took 2 months for this fight. He has a little more. He's going to look even better. Regardless of the
4
win or
years
loss,
old, 46
exactly.
years
Regardless
old.
of the win
He
or
looked
loss,
amazing. He
I was
didn't
just
lose.
proud of the way that he went out there. Yeah, he didn't lose.
It's a draw.
And he fought really well. It was clean. There's nothing. It was just clean. It was a clean fight. But kudos to Barrios for keeping him, you know, keeping it close.
Respect, he's a champion.